Giovanna De Freitas, Sofia Borges, Sarah Martins, and Rebecca Soares. As we are all set to have some fun. Thank you for tuning into the chat as we are just about underway from Mexico and the Yucatan. Appreciate all the fans, lots of fans for Canada and Brazil in the chat as the opening tip underway. And half a minute into the basketball game, it's Canada with it. Stop, pop, and a three on the way that time. No good from Sierra Parchment. But she gets the follow. Well done by Parchment to stay with it. And that is the first points of the ball game. As we'll see what Brazil can do. Picking up the dribble and crossing to Arihe, driving and scoring on the right side. Avery Arihe, 5'10" forward, able to scoop it in, and we're all tied up. Three on the way, that time well short from Sarah Araujo. As we are enjoying some good hoops today. And Brazil trying to get it across half court, finally. Able to do so. Nearly turning it over instead of drive. Arihe stops, pops for three. Well off the mark, and back comes Canada. A lob to the right corner, three on the way, that falls. And what a way to respond from Jada Denise. Arihe able to start the offensive possession. Canada does a good job getting to the help line and stopping the pass. It will stay with Brazil underneath. As the inbound comes in to Cavalcanti, a turnover and an easy score the other way for Canada. As there's Denia Prawl finishing in transition. An early 7-2 start for the Canadians. As the five starters for Canada, as a few of them checked out. Sierra Parchment, Denia Prawl, Jada Dennis, Yirni Erinhu, and Savannah Swords for Brazil as they try to break the press. Five starters remain out there. Sofia Borges, Michaela Cavalcanti, Sarah Martins, Italy Sanchez, and Esther Ubata. And they turn it over yet again. Driving inside for Canada is Prawl. Prawl loses it. Back comes Brazil. Bad pass ahead, and Prawl traces it down. Sarah Reed into the ball game. Drops it off for a drive-in. Chance Berry scoring at the rim. Make it 9-2 in just a few minutes. We saw a similar start in the opener for this tournament. But unfortunately, it wasn't able to result in a comeback, although the Dominican Republic did make it a very good basketball game come the second half. They brought it to within one late in that third and fourth quarter. But free throws down the stretch put that game away. Now, here in the second game for Group B, Brazil struggling to score on offense, and Canada able to put on some defensive pressure and push in transition. So I'm seeing some comments, where's Craig? I believe Craig will be back on here for the last couple of games here for the FIBA tournament. I've just got the afternoon games as we get started here in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. An early inbound and an early turnover. Canada drop off for Reed, and Reed puts 2 on the board. Fred was incredibly helpful to me. I'm right there with you. As Canada out to an early lead. A couple of turnovers out of the timeout, and Canada follows suit with one of their own. Brazil again turns it over, unable to make the catch. It was Sarah Martins. Sarah unable to hold on to that one. As we get a pass underneath and a foul, whistle blown. Jordan Wheeler heading to the free throw line, the 5'11" forward. After the missed trip at the free throw line, but they keep it and score underneath. Chance Berry, another basket. Brazil trying to force it inside and loses it. And now again to Wheeler, who has it tipped out of bounds. As we get an inbound. Floater on the way. That time no. Big time board. But loses it, and a foul called. It will be against Canada, I believe. It looks like Canada's staying put, though. As they've got a few substitutions, it will be Brazil's basketball. Nicolas Sanchez taking the ball out of bounds for Brazil. Sanchez. Able to inbound. Canada did enhance all throughout the passing lanes. And forcing some wild passes as nearly a backcourt violation. Instead, a turnover out of bounds. 13-2 Canada with the early start. As always, thank you for tuning into the YouTube stream. If you want to find that, go to YouTube, search FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to like and share. You can also find the stream at fiba.basketball/Americas/U16 women/2023. As Sanchez finally breaks half court for Brazil. And Cavalcanti is trapped near half court. Great play, great diving save. And in transition, a foul underneath. What a play from Canada's Savannah. The sword. Passed the ball in and Tally making a trip to the free throw line. Wow. As Tally, no good on the first free throw. Yeah, Zach, that was a fantastic save by Swords. Reminiscent of a, it was just a really good diving save. As we're at 14-2, Tally 1 for 2 at the stripe. Brazil's trying to set up some offense. Working from the elbows as Sanchez comes around the screen, drops it off underneath and out of bounds with Cavalcanti. Just not a great play. As they were looking to get it underneath against Canada. And playing some good defense for Brazil is Giovanni de Freitas. Giovanna, a 6'1" center, able to draw the foul after getting the deflection. And heading to the free throw line is de Freitas. Yeah, the turnovers for Brazil so far. As we are 5 minutes, 28 seconds into this one. They have 11 total turnovers to Canada's 4. And out of those 11 turnovers, Canada has 7 steals early on. So that's a large part of the difference for Canada right now is at the free throw line. 1-4-2. 14-3 as Brazil's Risa Lucas set to toss it in and does. Gets it right back. Cavalcanti, a deep left wing 3, nearly had the correct bat spin on that. Instead, comes away to Canada. Feely gives it up. As the shot no good, I believe that was Reed who went up. No, it might have been Savannah Swords. Might have been Swords diving for it, but nonetheless, out of bounds. It'll be Brazil's basketball. 4:09 left in the first, 14-13. A little drought for Canada scoring-wise. But defensively, they are shutting down Brazil. The full court press, half court, the ball pressure, it's all there. As Cavalcanti handles, gives it up. Lucas back to Cavalcanti. A 3 on the way. And that one out, way off. And it's just avoiding a shot clock violation. The rebound to Canada. Pass inside. And Reed has it poked away. Good defense from Brazil. The help was there. as it was Sofia Borges. Another chance as shot no good from Sanchez. Back the other way comes Canada. And left wide open, corner three, unable to knock it down, was Avery Arihe. Borges gets out to Sanchez, shot on the way, and that one rattles home. The second made shot for Brazil, 2 for 7. As they've missed 5 3-pointers, 2 for 2 inside the arc. They've got to be able to generate more of those shots. As we're back to within single digits, but not for long. Avery Arihe into the lane, throws it up and in with the left. Brazil back the other way, and it's Sanchez left open, and the foul. Nicolas Sanchez scoring in transition. No one got to her, and an and one opportunity coming as Brazil tries to stay within striking distance. Canada off to a brilliant start in this one. Offense just hasn't been there quite as much in the last couple of minutes. As it actually appears to be an inbounds from underneath. As Lucas set to inbound. Gets it in. Cavalcanti, a left wing three again, no. Tipped up, kept alive, and out of bounds. Canada's basketball. .208 remains in the first as we're in some pitch and roll as the ball handler nearly lost it. Was Prawl. Instead a foul on a second attack from Savannah Swords. As always, thank you for interacting in the chat here on the YouTube stream, as well as on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops. YouTube, just search FIBA U16 Americas, like and share. And please remember to remain civil and respectful, and we're all going to have a really good time here. As another turnover off the inbound, Canada will have possession again underneath. Swords will not inbound. Instead coming over, I believe that's a Arihe. As the lob goes into Prawl. A spinning fadeaway and unable to get it to go. The rebound comes up Lucas and loses it. In for two comes Parchment. Caleb saying Canada should press, and when they've been really successful, that's what they have been doing. As the inbound for Brazil, finally able to get it to Sanchez into the half court, drops it off, unable to handle the pass, but it will stay as De Freitas couldn't hold it. Brazil will have it underneath. And the inbound and a score for Brazil. Again, trying to stay within striking distance after a hot start from Canada. Ubaka sits on the board. Around the curl, a kick out, a three on the way, no good from Parchment. And out of bounds, Brazil down 11 with the basketball. Canada running out that full court press. And able to break it finally is Sarah. Now the break, they did it inside, and De Freitas scores underneath. Nine-point ball game as Brazil starting to figure a couple of things out on defense as well as that last offensive possession. Canada off the inbound. That one ripped and a foul beforehand as Denia Prawl was running into the lane. Several fouls early in this one. It's the fourth against Brazil. There are also 4 against Canada. Parchment drops it down for Denny. Cross court to Prawl, a fading mid-ranger, no. Dennis with the rebound. Tries to go inside for Prawl, the pass makes it there. As Prawl traverses from block to block, another fadeaway shot, no. And that's about the third fadeaway we've seen from Prawl, where, in my opinion, it might just be better for Prawl to use her physical tools at 6 feet tall, go up strong. Still 20-11, Canada on top as a full court press, or excuse me, the half court trap leads to a foul. And heading to the free throw line is Brazil. Day 1 of the FIBA's U16 Americas Championship here in 2023, second game. Zach, I think we might have been on the same page there. As here's Sarah going up with another shot, up and in. 20-13. Canada's lead down to 7. Canada so quickly back the other way. 3 on the way, no good, and through 1 quarter. Canada up 20-13. Here in the first quarter, made it 20-12. As we will be right back for second quarter action.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
And we're back here from Yucatan. Andrew Willett on the call as we are streaming live on FIBA. You can find us on YouTube at FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to like and share. What are we up to right now? I believe it's over 100. Yep, 176. Let's get a few more likes. See if we can hit 200 by the end of this quarter. If not, aim for even a little bit higher as Canada are underway. Thank you for tuning in here as Parchment fouled and heading to the stripe. As the second game of the day underway. And a 7-point ball game after one quarter of action. Canada got off to a fantastic start. I believe it was 13-2 for sure. But Brazil able to keep things relatively close down the stretch. And we'll see what Canada can come out with. I know their full court press, their half court trap, both really bothering Brazil. They get right back into that full court press. And there's the trap. Finally able to break it. Here's Sarah into the front court, dropping it off and deflected out of bounds by Wheeler. It will stay underneath with Brazil. As Parchment went 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Nine-point game, but Sanchez cannot knock down a shot to make it even closer. Good deflection on the other side, but unable to finish was Lucas. So back quickly the other way comes Canada. Corner three off the mark. Good board from Brazil. And De Freitas able to find Sanchez in the front court. Back over to Sarah. He gives it up. And a three well off the mark from Lucas. Coach trying to say deflected. That's Luciana Tomazzini. But here we are. Canada turns it over, but just for a second as Parchment takes it right back. Into the lane. Great move from Denise. A second attempt, no. And Denise trying to create a third attempt, but picks up the foul. As that board picked up by Ubaka. And Sarah will inbound. Only 2 points scored so far in the second quarter. It's going to be interesting to see how Brazil can try to score some points. What they have done is gotten the ball inside relatively well. as Rachel Okoko picks up the foul. Coming in off the bench, the 6'1" forward. Plays for Royal Crown. And Brazil will take that out underneath Lucas. We'll have to toss it up and towards Sarah, but that one's stolen away. It's Reed. Gives it up to Denise. And Denise unable to score. It's Jada Denise all the way to the rim. Before getting fouled and heading to the free throw line. Plays for Corrine Wilson on the club level. Unable to get the first free throw to fall for Canada. Another reminder to interact with our YouTube chat by searching FIBA U16 Americas, liking and sharing. You can also find that link at FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023. Make sure to interact using that hashtag FIBA U16 Americans with our Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops. Breaking into the lane, great move and score. That was Ubata able to score at the rim. Nice crossover dribble. And De Freitas forces a stop, but it will stay with Canada. Ernie Arena out there for Canada with Sarah Reed, Denia Prawl, looks like Jada Denise, as well as Jada Quealy. And a turnover, so they get right into their full court press. Into Sarah. Sarah doing a good job for Brazil, able to get across half court. But Canada taking up a lot of Brazil's time on the offensive end by slowing them down to where they have 16, 17 seconds by the time they finally get across half court, if they're able to get through that press, which has done a very good job for Canada so far today. Nonetheless, still an 8-point game, 23-15, as the inbound comes to Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti trying to maneuver some offense. Cross court to Sarah, who fires the left wing three. No. Ubata on the follow and a foul underneath. And it looks like that foul is going against Brazil. Maybe. No, I'm not exactly sure what the whistle was. Might have been a technical on one side. But it will result in free throws from Chance Berry in the ball game. Chance Berry plays for Royal Crown at just 14 years of age. Out there representing Canada to be a special athlete down the line, but misses the second of two free throws. Berry already up to 5 points, second leading scorer on this team. Canada retains possession. Prawl tries to give it up. Good defense from Obata. Prawl able to recover it, but a turnover as a shot clock violation. Past half court. Cavalcanti. Sarah driving and whistled for a travel. As we have a sub on the way. Low scoring second quarter thus far. A little bit of a drought. 4 points from Canada, 2 from Brazil. Makes it a 9-point game. Has Swords into the lane. Beautiful play to dip past the defense and flip it up with the left hand. Nice touch from Swords. As Brazil follows with a turnover. Up ahead to Prawl. Able to keep it and score. Still going to talk a few things over. Seems like a good time to remind you. I'm happy to interact with the chat. Out of the timeout, Brazil able to break the press. Cavalcanti. I know we've got some fans in the chat as she drives. Can't finish. But a nice move to get some separation. The board comes up to Quealy, who gives it up. I believe that's Wheeler on the attack. Great block from, I believe that was De Freitas or Ubata. It looks like Ubata. Yep, picked up the block underneath. And off of Canada, it stays, or will go to Brazil. Cavalcanti handling the point along with Sanchez. Cavalcanti's got it now. He's able to get past the trap and give it up to Sarah. Sarah tries to attack left, nearly loses it. Picks up the lost dribble and called for a double dribble. Went down with it again. So Brazil's got to do a better job. Maybe that could be off of some sets, some set plays. But they aren't able to get around the defenders just one-on-one right now. And that is the crux of their issue. As we're nearly halfway through the second quarter of action. A three on the way. That one splashes home for Jada Quealy. .3 points, her first basket. As a drive-in. Sofia Borges has it blocked out of bounds. Off the inbounds, they did it in. Cavalcanti. Down low. I believe that's Ubata who finishes. And the intensity, the passion, you love to see it. From Brazil. Breaks a scoring run from Canada. Missed shot, and back comes Brazil. Ubata. A DHO. Dribble handoff. Gives up Cavalcante, who buries a three. Much needed triple from Matela. Now Canada able to bust through the defense for two. 33-20. As De Oliveira able to break through the full court press. Brazil trying to attack. Pass inside. That one unable to be caught. De Oliveira comes up with it. Outside. Cavalcanti banks in a three. Back-to-back triples. Matela Cavalcanti. Holy cow, what a shot. To beat the shot clock buzzer. Back to a 10-point game. Trying to respond from three, it's Quealy, no. And out of bounds, off of Canada, Brazil has a chance to keep this run going. That was a deep triple. Taylor Cavalcanti calls for the screen, denies it as two defenders follow her. And trying to create a shot, but no good. With Sofia Borges, offensive rebound wraps around De Oliveira. Can't knock down the triple. That would have been some momentum for Brazil. But Canada can't take care of business. A turnover on the other side. Yeah, what a shot. Benjamin, Zach. That was a pretty special shot and much needed for Brazil as a timeout is taken by Canada. They're going to want to talk a few things over after Brazil gets a little run going. I believe it was 31-15. And an 8-2 run. Canada talking some things over. Stay with us here. We've got 3:09 remaining in a 10-point ball game. Canada has to do a little bit better job taking care of the basketball. I know I've seen a couple of things in the chat, just hoping for the inbounds the way to De Oliveira, but a blow play dead. Kind of a tough break for Brazil. As Jada Quealy lost her shoe. And there's the press again. Finally gets in De Oliveira, and finally Adela Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti guarded closely by Jada Denise. And the trap comes, and a turnover. Up ahead, Denise can't get the layup to fall. Canada all over the offensive board. And a jump ball, I believe, will be the call. Will go the way of Canada. Cavalcanti, the one entrusted to inbound the basketball, plays for ADC Bradesco. Club play. Gets it in to De Oliveira, who is not fouled, but looks like stepped on the sideline. Turnover. Tristan did a timeout. Maybe so. There's Denise. Drops it down low. And a block at the rim. That was Wheeler. He couldn't get a shot up. Nearly got the steal off the deflection. Sweet pass. Cavalcanti sets up her teammate perfectly. Offensive rebound and stolen away. Back comes Parchment. And that was Chance Berry who lost it. 3 on the way. That time no good. Cavalcanti. And another rebound. Parchment. Like to see both of these teams tighten up, control the basketball. As the pass is dropped off. Shot on the way, no good from Wheeler. Cavalcanti fires the touchdown pass. And a score in transition. De Oliveira. Excuse me. It's now down to single digits. 33-25. Brazil hanging around. And they're doing so with this half-court zone that's been giving Canada some problems. I believe, nope, just a turnover out of bounds. As it's out off of Canada's Marie Talley. Yeah, Zach, I agree. Cavalcanti is doing a fantastic job. Banjo, also appreciating that. As Cavalcanti able to break the press, picks up her dribble, gets it right back. Brazil needs her quite a bit. As Ubaka passes over De Oliveira. It will be tipped back to Ubaka, and a foul on the shot, I believe. Ubaka. Esther Ubaka, a power forward at 5'11", 15-year-old. Also plays for ADC Bradesco. And the interesting part for Brazil, Ubaka, as well as several other Brazilian players, Luciana Tomazini, the head coach of this U16 Brazilian team. He's also the coach of ADC Bradesco, coaching Michaela Cavalcanti, Raisa Lucas. It looks like Esther Ubaka, of course, Sofia Borges, and Roberta Soares. So several athletes, I believe that's 5, coming from the same club team to play for Team Brazil. As Ubaka has a second shot coming. Can't make either. Would have been huge for Brazil to cut into the deficit even more. Instead, Canada controlling. Inside and out. Canada stalled by this zone. It's like a 2-3. As Ubaka doing a great job protecting the rim, and it's the board. 20 seconds left. Can Brazil make the deficit even tighter? Sanchez going to hand it off. Swings back around to Ibaka. Driving inside. Flips it up. No. Rebound. Canada. 2 seconds. One. Just noticing. And the shot well short from Denia Prawl through one half of basketball. We've got a good one. 33-25 as Canada, after getting out to a superb start, plays a pretty even close to the ball game, with Brazil coming out on top. Michaela Cavalcanti, a couple of huge threes.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
As both teams head back out to the court, second half action just about underway between Brazil and Canada. Canada got out to a great start in that first half, leading 13-2 the full court press, the half court trap. Brazil could not do much of anything on offense. But then, just as things started to seem out of hand, Brazil knocks down a couple of big shots. They stay close enough in that first quarter, a couple of huge threes, and now we sit in an 8-point ball game to start this third quarter. As we'll see what Canada has up their sleeve starting out. They've had some trouble against this Brazil zone. And there again, Ubata making a huge deflection and a foul as Brazil tries to head the other way. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. If you're tuning in on YouTube, please, or wherever you're streaming from, thank you. Head to that YouTube stream and hop in the chat, interact with us here. As you can YouTube search FIBA U16 Americas, as well as head to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023 to find the stream and a lot of other information. Like and share, as well as interact in the chat, and on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops, using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. A little sloppy to start the second half. Three on the way, no. Fighting for the rebound, but good board from Ubata as Sarah will cross half court, nearly lose it, and does. Going back the way of Canada. I think 123 might be pushing it a little bit. We will see what both of these teams have to offer over the final 19 minutes. Dropping it down and out. Ball moved around. Another three off the mark. Canada settling for a lot of threes early, and then fouling as they try to attack the glass or force a turnover. Brazil doing a much better job taking care of the basketball. At one point, someone asked how many turnovers, and they had 10 in the first 5 to 6 minutes of the first quarter. Right now they're currently at 22 turnovers, but they've done a much better job taking care of the basketball. And a big part of that has been the point guard play of not only Sanchez, but especially Michaela Cavalcanti, who has been really impressive, as Sanchez did not get the first free throw to fall. And Canada, after huddling up, heads back into the lane. Sanchez, second free throw, up and in. Now the closest it's been for quite some time, a 7-point ball game. As Canada breaks the press, can't finish at the rim. Great defense from Sanchez, I believe, getting back. Cavalcanti. Driving at Quealy, driving kick to Sarah. She makes a nice move towards the basket, no good. On her shot, rebound Parchment. Up ahead for Prawl. Hit the head three, no. Follow and a foul on the way up. Savannah Swords with the O board, and we'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Swords, the forward, at 6 feet tall, 15 years of age. Plays for Long Island Lutheran in Canada. Able to knock down the first free throw, where Swords is 3 for 3 on the day for 7 points. Another free throw coming. Only 2 for 7 inside the arc, and 0 for 2 from outside, so 2 for 9 on the day. Roughly 4 for 4 from the free throw line to go with 2 offensive rebounds and 8 points. Brazil able to break through a little bit of pressure. Shot, no. Going to need a few of those to fall if Brazil wants to get closer. Canada stifled. They need to get it across half court as a 10-second or 8-second violation called against Canada. Quealy. And Canada in a little bit of disarray. Quealy taking a step out. As a couple of subs come in. Chance Berry off the bench, as well as Sarah Reed to go with the other three starters. Iraway and Sierra Parchment. And Denia Prawl, excuse me. Cavalcanti with a bad pass turnover. Back the other way, Sarah Reed. Can't finish. Great block from Cavalcanti. And now Sanchez will race to get it across half court. Does. And finds Ubata. Down low for Bordes. And that's another turnover. Turnovers piling up here to start this third quarter for Brazil as a nice Euro step move and score from the 14-year-old Chance Berry. Berry looking very impressive, very fluid on that move, but all night long has been very solid, up to 7 points, 1 for 2 from the free throw line and 3 for 4 from the field. Berry up to 7. And the second leading scorer for Canada as Brazil takes a timeout. That lead up to 11. I'm curious from the chat, what do you think needs to change for Brazil in order to get back into this game? Or if you're a fan of Canada, what have they not been doing so well that's given given Brazil rather a chance, despite it still being an 11-point ball game? As from my perspective, I'm seeing Brazil get back into some lazy passes, a little bit lack of intensity there, but also Canada doing a better job on the trap and the pick and roll defense. But yeah, just a little bit more intensity, a little bit more accuracy on passes. See, Brazil half-court offense has to be better. Yeah. I mean, it's really tough when you're not able to get those entry passes, or you're not able to hit the roller off the pick and roll. And so we're seeing as a switch on that pick and roll. Cavalcanti trying to get it in, and see, that's just a tough catch for De Freda as it leads to a Canada transition 2. Good play, Denia Prawl. Denia, excuse me. Cavalcanti. Excuse me. Gives it up. A shot along the baseline. Sweet move and nice finish from Lucas. Riza Lucas breaks the drought, but then a foul on Brazil. Yeah, the passing does need to be a little bit better from Brazil. But the defense is what's keeping them in the game, I think. As Canada really struggling against this 2-3 zone. They're pressuring all the right spots. They're able to keep the paint locked down. And this is what Canada needs to do. Make that middle part of the paint step out. You got to be able to knock down some shots as Swords misses the 3. Or the long 2, rather. Back comes Brazil. 11-point ball game. And a turnover. Yet again, just struggling to get it down into the paint for Brazil. And I like the attempts that they're doing. It just is a little tough on the offense to do that. Driving into the lane, that's Chance Berry, and she's got a really nice pick and roll game. And her ball handling, just good enough, and she's got a little bit of a groove to her. As she was attacking just then, able to draw the foul. Reed. That's a great question, breaking into this zone. So that was an excellent example of how Canada can do it, and a lot of it is going to be from my perspective. And I don't know everything, but we're watching some basketball together. I think you've got to be able to get the ball inside. The other thing I saw was getting the ball into kind of that free throw line, 2 3-point range area, where Swords had it. And Swords took the jumper, but it was able to get the defense locked out. Or get that middle defender of the 2-3 zone out to her. Maybe open a few more things up. But yeah, you need some quick passing. You're not going to beat a zone by the dribble. And if you can get it inside, even better. And that's obviously Canada's strong suit as well. Appreciate that question. I can't see it now, but I know you've been talking a lot in the chat, but appreciate you. Thank you to all of you for tuning in, that is, and for interacting. We've had a good time. Any other ideas for how you break through a zone? Over on the YouTube chat. Yeah, Zach, that's a great point. Open space, crazy shots, yeah. I mean, sometimes it is that simple, and you've got several places, and it's just about knocking down those shots, just like that, as we saw Jada Denise able to knock down the triple. The defense sinks in because you have players in the paint, and that's going to open up a 3-point shot. Denise just has to knock it down. She did that time. Canada up to a 15-point lead. As Brazil now, a kicked out, De Freitas banks in a 3, the second banked in 3. And that's quite the response for Brazil, much needed, as it brings the lead back down to 12. From 3-point territory as Canada breaks inside and is able to score on the third try. Good follow there from Canada's Marie Talley. 3-point range on the night. 3 for 14 for Brazil. They banked in 2 of those. But even worse, 3 for 15 for Canada. So it's just like, it's going to be tough to break the 2-3 zone when you're not able to hit the outside shot. But Canada has also done a great job defensively with that ball pressure. Inbound to Brazil. Finally able to break through the pressure and start a half-court possession. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you are a great three-point shooting team, it's going to be hard to play zone against you. And yeah, Zach Young, bank is open today. ASAP Anime. You couldn't play the 3-2 zone against the Golden State Warriors. Although they do have some lineups where Tavon Looney and Draymond Green, both non-shooters, maybe that is something you can play around with. But you have got to be really careful with that zone to have eyes on Steph Curry, a Klay Thompson, a Jordan Poole, all of those different shooters. Especially during their golden era, where they were just about unbeatable with so much talented three-point shooting. Canada unable to finish. Sarah Reed has an open midi. That mid-range shot, no, and a foul. And is trying to come away with it. Was Brazil to be called against Canada, I believe. Sarah Reed. Again, huge thank you to everyone for tuning in. We are just getting the second game underway for a whole week of action. The FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship here in 2023 from Mexico in Yucatan. 2 more games later on tonight, as Brazil now facing its largest deficit, and they turn it over. The pressure mounting from Canada. The point about those Kevin Durant Warriors, it just wasn't quite fair. As Canada into the half court. Great play, nice pass handoff play. Arije, able to score. Beautifully done. In the lane. Cavalcante has to kick it back out. And Krause, now with it being trapped, someone's got to run and get open. But Canada finding those passing lanes and getting in there after trapping. Really impressive to cover 4 players with 3 defensive players. As Krause fouled, trying to keep the ball alive for Brazil. Do I think Bronny James will make it to the NBA? Yes, I do. So from the scouting, and obviously a lot of that comes from ESPN, who is going to show a lot of love. But it looks like Bronny is a very, very good player. Comparing him to the likes of a Drew Holiday or Marcus Smart, who can be very good players on winning teams. We'll see how good he can be, though. It'll be interesting to see, because he's developed so much already at Sierra Canyon. As another trap and another turnover. Canada's defense all over it, leads to a 3. Swords can't finish, but the follow is good. What a play from Savannah Swords. Swords really making an impact, even though that 3-pointer not falling. 4 for 15 from the field. 0 for 4 from 3, so 4 for 11 from inside, 4 boards, 4 offensive rebounds rather, to make it 5 rebounds, so only 1 defensive to 4 offensive, as well as 3 steals. Savannah Swords chipping in 12 points to lead all scorers right now, and it's a large part of why Canada up 55-31 as Brazil takes another timeout. This one has gotten out of hand in the third quarter. You didn't know if Brazil could make it a little bit closer, but so far Canada has taken control of the wheel in the second half. We had some great contributions from the chat. I believe Zach and ASAP Anime pointing out a few different options for Brazil to do, and we've seen Canada able to create a lot of their offense off of defense, which is their preferred method. I think they like to be out in transition rather than operating in the half court. Real quickly, again, hop in this YouTube chat wherever you're watching. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Search FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023, where you can find a lot of information as well as the stream for YouTube. Hop in, like and share, and interact in the chat, or on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Out of the timeout, we're sitting right now at 255 likes. Let's see if we can get that number even higher with Canada and America. And that's another great question. As we've got, yes, this tournament, 8 teams in this tournament separated into 2 groups. But after pool play, it's a larger tournament. with the 4 semifinalists after round 1 of the tournament able to qualify for the 2024. Excuse me, it's the FIBA U17 World Cup in Turkey in June of 2024. From this tournament will advance to that. So a lot at stake, but right now we are just in the pool play. We did 3 days of pool play to see where these teams are, to see how they match up with each other, and set the seeding for that tournament play. And set up the first round to see who makes the semifinals. And eventually, who will come out victorious from the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship here in 2023. Canada looking like a very strong suitor in Group B, as foul shots no, but an offensive rebound ripped away as Canada called for a travel. Jordan Wheeler walked a little bit with it. Wheeler plays for A.N. Meyer. We had a question about Bronny James. I do think he will be a solid contributor. Obviously, everyone's very interested to see where he goes because LeBron has that desire to play with him. We'll see if that actually comes into fruition. Where Bronny ends up, a very interesting point. As the ball swings around. And an inside shot, no. And a jump ball. Brazil still trying to fight. With a lot of time left, frankly. You can get a lot of good basketball from this. And yeah, great point. Just needing to tighten up that offense. The defense is... I mean, we saw this from the Dominican Republic as well. When they really locked in on that zone defense, it was very effective against their respective opponents, Argentina and Canada. But Canada's defense turning into offense has been a large part of this turnaround. And this massive lead as Wheeler fouled attacking the basket. 28.3 seconds. Benjamin, fun question. Is Bronny what the Lakers need to win a championship? I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna say I don't think that he wouldn't help. I think it's tough for a rookie and a young player early on to help with winning a championship. I do think he would help. I just don't think it's exactly what they need to overcome the Lakers. Although overcome the Nuggets, rather. The world champion Denver Nuggets. As Wheeler's first free throw falls, 25-point ball game. Lead has ballooned. We got another question there. Who is the tallest player? And for Canada, as I'll run down the list, you've got several players above 6 feet tall, but you've actually got 3 players for Canada at 6'1". Sarah Reed, Marie Talley, and Rachel Okoko are the 3 tallest players on Canada. For Brazil, they do have the tallest player in this game, at least, and that's 6'2". Rebecca Soares, 15-year-old at 6'2", has some good size. Zach Young with the answer. Toto. Listed at 6'1", as well as a couple of other players. Pedron, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but said Bronny is a good role player. Yeah, I mean, he very well could be, and they need defense. He's going to be a superb athlete. Should be a good defender if he can figure a few things out. But at the buzzer, three-pointer off the mark. Just no good. From Parchment, would have been a big-time finish. As we've got a 25-point ball game through 3 quarters. And we're having some fun in the chat nonetheless, though, as Canada just got out to a monster third quarter. They're able to.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of the entire
Go off a little
nation,
bit, 23-6
your people
in
and
that
their
third quarter.
dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
And we come out to start the fourth quarter of Canada-Brazil, the second game of a 4-game slate on the first day of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championships, and a day that has been defined by that for Brazil. Another turnover, and Canada exploiting that on the offensive end. As we appreciate you so much for tuning in and hopping in on the YouTube chat. We're having some fun over there, even though it is a 25-point game. While we obviously are focused on this game, Canada well in control. The question I'm going to ask for the chat is, what would you like to see from Brazil to close out this fourth quarter? It obviously might be out of reach, but what can they have some positives heading into the next couple of days of pool play that they can find here in this fourth quarter? And for the Canadian side, are there any players that you'd like to see play a lot here in this fourth quarter, or maybe a couple of lineups that you think would be fun? As we start the fourth with a three. There's Parchment's three. That's a welcome sight for Canada, who has not been able to knock down the three-point shot all day long. Now 4 for 19 from downtown, as Parchment got her first triple to go, 1 for 5 now, 0 for 4 before that, as that works as a behind-the-back pass, but no good on the layup. Just couldn't get it to go. Crawl, I believe. Got the other one away. Borges can't get it. And Cavalcanti able to hold on to it. Zach Young says keep fighting and keep it under 30. Zach, we're having a good time here. That's a great point. You definitely don't want to see the team quit on you. Let's see what else. Yeah, we have seen quite the run here from Canada. I'll go back and check the score, but I mean 59 to 33. And it was just 59 to 31 as well. There's a drive and kick, 3 on the way, another 3 down. And Canada, it might have just been some early nerves for Team Canada. at the U16 level, hey, you get tense, you get tight, you start to miss some threes. We see that in a lot of big moments. And I mean, holy cow, 62-33. It's very impressive, especially as we started that second half. I believe at one point we were looking at a 7-point game. Yes, we were, with around eight minutes left in that third quarter. It was 33-26. So since then, shot no good from Wheeler and deflection out of bounds. Since then, we have seen a 29-7 run. And all the way up to a 27-5 run before that last basket for Brazil. Zach Young says Prawl had an off shooting night, but might be Canada's best player. And they knocked down that triple just a second ago. I think knocking down some threes is going to be huge for Canada here down the stretch. Get a rhythm going in before your next game tomorrow, and see what you can do. As take another peek at the schedule tomorrow. They go up in the first game at 12:30 local time, 2:30 Eastern time against the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic, another team watching this that can say, hey, we ran our 2-3 zone very well and very consistently against Argentina. If we can even tighten up a few more things, maybe we can at least play Canada close or cause some more misses like this, because Wheeler unable to get it to go, following and fouled on the way up. I mean, that's an interesting strategy tomorrow for the Dominican Republic, but yeah, interesting to see how Canada does on the stretch. Zach, I see you also say Chance Berry was off to a great start. Would have liked to see her get more minutes. I think she played very well as well. Benjamin, that's a pretty good question. And frankly, I think you're gonna have to tell me. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one up to you. ASAP Anime, who is the youngest player? Let's go through this, because there are several 14-year-olds on both of these teams, which is just incredibly impressive for a U16 tournament. Chance Berry, Avery Arige. Those are the two 14-year-olds on Canada, with Avery Arige being just slightly younger, a month younger. And then for Brazil, I mean, a very young, or a young team with a lot of 15-year-olds, but they do have one 14-year-olds, and that is Sarah Martins, born in 2008 in September, so she will turn 15 this year. But yeah, those are the youngest players, as Canada off the steal. For Brazil, yeah, Zach, great answer there. Benjamin, I'm curious for your answer to that question you brought up. Wow, I mean, it's just so impressive at this age to be as skilled as you are and have the composure to play at this level. Not only the composure, but the strength too, as Brazil no good on the shot. That was Sofia Borges. Again, thank you for those tuning in to the chat, having a good time on the chat. Right now, we're looking at 283 likes. Let's see if we can get to 300 by the end of this broadcast. Keep it up. And we appreciate you very much. As again, a reminder, wherever you're watching this, try and tune into the YouTube stream by getting on YouTube, searching FIBA U16 Americas, or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023. You can find a lot of information there, but also the streaming link, as you can hop in the chat and interact with us, or on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops, using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. My favorite college team. Alright, so I am a graduate of Ball State University, which is in Indiana, and so obviously that's my favorite college team. Growing up, I was a fan of Indiana University and had some fun basketball teams on the men's side during my childhood into adulthood, as well as recently on the women's side for IU. But that's a tough question. Why don't you guys toss out your favorite college teams, men's and women's basketball? I want to see some of both. Obviously, we had a great year with the women's Final Four this past year. A lot of excitement around the women's game. And we did it to see a great step here for both of these countries, as we did a tie-up on the floor. The score right now or 66 to 33. Man, I struggled with that one, as Brazil with the block, or Brazil was blocked, and De Freitas cannot hit the follow. And now we sit with the foul. Hey, we've hit 300 likes. A huge thank you to everybody tuning in. Yes, Caitlin Clark is going to be the future. I mean, I've been a fan since her high school days. Just could not get over the edge, as LSU was incredible this year. Angel Reed's so much fun, so talented. But Caitlin Clark, I agree, is a very good basketball player. We got any WNBA fans on this side? NBA fans? Fans of basketball, tell me your favorite team in general. Toss that out. Yeah, Zach, we're working on, there it is. Alright, so that has pulled up. Yeah, just a couple of difficulties as we sit. Canada doubling Brazil's score. That's always an impressive feat. If Canada can hold on to that, you have to score twice as much down the stretch, which can be tricky. As the shot no from Jada Dennis. And you know what, Zach? LSU did go crazy. Those three-pointers in the first half. Oh, we got a Toronto Raptors fan. Oh, a lot of Raptors fans, obviously. We got Team Canada here, of course. Oh, man, I'm going to disappoint you guys. I am a Boston Celtics fan. Have some fun with that. Ooh, I liked Team Canada looking nice. Acadia University. Okay. I think I've heard of them. We got Syracuse up there from Zach. Yeah, Haley Van Lith winning that 3v3 gold medal for USA women's basketball. Going to be an incredible addition to LSU, who have to be the odds-on favorites right now. Especially after adding Morrow as well from DePaul. Still sitting a 33-point ball game. Brazil has a chance to run, but Krause slows it down. Got a Green Bay Phoenix women's basketball fan. Okay, I like that. Golden State, Duke. Fun stuff. Georgia Tech, okay. Yeah, Zach, I think that's a good point about Paige Beckers potentially being able to give LSU a run for their money, but they've got to be the favorite as of right now. Brock University, Holy Boy 222. We see you. We appreciate you guys hopping in the chat. We're at 307 lights. Let's see how much higher we can get. Let's see if we can get to maybe a 310 on the YouTube chat. As the shot goes up and off the mark. This has been quite the scoring drought as Sarah looks to and does break the scoring drought. It's a cheer from the fans as that's Sarah Martins from Brazil. Able to bank in the end, one shot took the bump. Nice finish through contact. So a lot of Raptors fans in here, Golden State Warriors fans. Middle Tennessee, okay. That's pretty cool. Middle Tennessee. Let's see. What do you guys think are the odds of Canada doubling Brazil's score over the final few minutes of this one? They're going to need 6 more points after that 3-point play, but they had it for a few moments there. Lakers fans, oh man, so sorry to be the resident Boston Celtics fan over here. Oh my gosh, Reiner, that's incredibly thoughtful. Ooh, we've got some love for a player out there. And first and foremost, Reiner, I mean, this is my pleasure. It's an honor to broadcast for these young women as they just continue to grow and start their basketball careers. And playing for such an incredible opportunity like the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. Let's see here. We've got Miriam Hines. I hope I said that correctly. But cheering on Sarah Reed, number 11 from St. John's, Newfoundland. So incredibly proud of my little cousin, she says. And props to you, props to Sarah, as Sarah's been having a great basketball game so far. Definitely a key contributor, one of the taller players on this team. Got 5 rebounds, 2 assists to go on with a basket. And a couple of steals. So yeah, shout out to Sarah Reed. Getting some time on the bench as Canada closes this thing out. Let's see, what else do we got? A huge shout out to the YouTube chat comments. Please hop in there. YouTube search FIBA U16 Americas or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023 to join in on the fun. We're having a good time. And let's see here. Where did we stop off? Zach Young, no, I am not doing the USA game 2. I will be back here, though, tomorrow afternoon. I've got the early 2 games. So you want to hang around for Group B as they start pool play. And then we'll still cover some afternoon action as the tournament goes along. But very much appreciate you guys for having some fun this afternoon. And you're in good hands with Craig coming back for the final 2 games of this tournament. And what did I think of the Denver Nuggets as we sit in a 67-36 ball game? Shot no good. 2 minutes left. I thought the Denver Nuggets were incredibly impressive. I think they're doing things the right way. And I thought, frankly, it's going to be tough to beat them for a long time. I think it would have been a better fight, though, if the Miami Heat weren't injured, or if another team would have beaten the Miami Heat. Nonetheless, Denver, 16-4 throughout the entire playoffs, incredibly impressive. I think a very worthy champion, one of the best champions we've had in a long time, built organically as well. Lisa Squires says also watching from Newfoundland. Go Canada, go. Go Sarah Reed with a heart. That's very nice. Zach Young, shout out Atlantic, Canada. Too bad there's no Nova Scotians on the roster. Bummer. Let's see, where else can we get? Travis McIsaac says shout out from Ambray Academy in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Cheering for Team Canada and our fellow teacher manager, Coach Galen Steer. I like that. Appreciate all of the fun in here. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to hit the like button. We're having a good time in here. See how high we can get it now that we're down to the last minute. And we got a thank you from the Philippines. Ooh, Padron, I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm so happy to be bringing you the stream. We're having some fun over here with the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. And another shout out for Sarah Reed. I love it. Newfoundland showing out as Michelle Doyle, it looks like. Another shout out to Sarah Reed, number 11 on Canada, who is on the Newfoundland U17 team. A lot of fun we're having around here. As we're at 318, let's see if we can't get to 320 likes. Had a lot of fun here in this chat as the free throw falls. And Brazil, hey, we're still fighting to keep this thing within 30. I know Zach Young said that was a goal for Brazil in this fourth quarter. It has really been up and down as things got out of hand fast. Thanks in large part to I believe it was a 29-5 run from Canada from early, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, up until early in the fourth quarter. So, man, a lot of fun. As we've got someone shouting out from Wales in the UK. That's some fun. You know what? Wales, Ball State has a partnership with Cardiff Metropolitan University. So, happy to shout out Wales. Hopefully I'll be heading there later this spring. That would be a lot of fun. ASAP Anime says the 2023 FIBA World Cup is going to be in the Philippines. Hopefully LeBron will play for Team USA. Hey, that would be incredible to go see for anybody, especially those of you in the Philippines. That would be really cool if LeBron played. Although I bet he's probably waiting for the Olympics, if I had to guess, at this stage in his career. A shout out from Barry from Canada. Chance Barry from Canada. Okay, Princess. Excuse me on your last name, but a shout out as Canada able to hold on and win 69-37. So many shout outs. A lot of fun we've had in this chat, but Canada coming out on top 69-37. I'll get through these shout outs real fast and we'll run through some stats, but shout out Chance Barry from Canada, from the Philippines, from Kapart. I bet for under 113 total score. Oh man, what did we end up at? Looks like 106, so you were in there. Nice job. Easy plus 35 as we saw a 32-point blowout. So proud from San Diego, from Natasha 88 Blue. Avery Arige is my niece. Yeah, congratulations. Shout out to Avery from Excel Prep. Basketball Maven says LeBron's too old, and shout out to Jada Dennis. And Zach Young says a great third quarter from Canada, and shout out to our two Alberta girls from Desiree Regier. Leonard Darvu says hi. And good game. Still defending to the very end from Padron as Canada wins it 69-37. They shoot just 5 for 25 from 3, only 37% from the field. And that about does it as Canada able to wrap things up with a dominant victory. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Andrew Willett. As you saw, Canada and Brazil. Canada coming out on top. We'll be back here shortly. Tune in for our last two games of the afternoon. USA and Puerto Rico, and Mexico and Columbia after this, and I'll be back tomorrow. Andrew Willett for the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.